We've got 173 people registered, of which 11 first-time attendees, so welcome to everybody. Obviously that includes people online as well as those in the room, so another great turnout, so thank you all for giving your time over the next 2 days.
There were a few questions about LINX's regional exchanges. There was one really good one about the good of the internet, which used to be quite a theme inside LINX, and we're going to explore the views on that. There was one quite killer question about LINX financial performance, and quite separately from that, about LINX's greatest challenge, so you can be thinking about all of these.
So how many people in the room know what LINX is? Okay. That's good. That's good because I'm going to give an introduction for those that don't.
We are about to do some more interviews of people who just joined to understand their experience and drivers, and hopefully that will capture some of this and we can then build on that interview material. So we are looking at that. I mean, it's a good idea. I completely agree with you, and we are doing some of that work to try and understand that better.
So first part of capacity planning is look back at history. So this is the history. These sorry, I haven't got the scale on there, but this is historical peaks in gigabits a second each month going back to February 2011. So the first one over on the left there, that was the royal wedding back then. Then in 2012, you probably remember there was a little thing called the Olympics. And then in 2013, that peak there, that was Andy Murray winning Wimbledon for the first time. And then 2014, well, that would be football. That was the last World Cup. 2016, that would be football. That was Euros 2016. And the May one, that peak there was royal wedding Mark II.
So what is your policy to send traffic over to us?
Mm-hmm. I will explain it quickly because it's a more specific case, and if it doesn't answer your question completely, we can also talk in the break. Okay. So in general, we try to honor as much as possible if we have a direct setup in your cluster, in your network, and use that first. The second priority would be PNIs, the third IX, and then the last one transit if you have no other way to reach you.
I'm also going to share a 144-strand terrestrial fiber. The terrestrial fiber these days has gone all the way up to 3,456 strand cables, which are being installed in various implementations in Northern Virginia. And some of the newer subsea cables that we are seeing are going upwards of 8 fiber pairs. If you look at the construct of the cable itself, it's a pretty complex construct in terms of the shielding that the cable has, the steel wires, and the actual fiber strands are literally thinner than human hair. But the cable itself is approximately the size of a garden hose.
I will, however, mention briefly that there's some new guidance on consent from the ICO on their website, which is interesting. And if you're interested in GDPR issues, go and pick up a copy and have a look. In particular, it mentions the case of a Wi-Fi hotspot, where if the Wi-Fi hotspot says, please give us your personal contact details so that we can send you marketing communications. And if you give them to us, then we'll allow you access to the internet through our hotspot. And if you don't, then you can't use it. It specifically calls that example out as being in breach of GDPR because it is not necessary to collect that data in order to provide access to a Wi-Fi hotspot. And therefore, in requiring that data in order to make use of it, that consent is not freely given, according to the ICO.